Yo, what is good? I anime faithful. What is good, yo? So this will probably be some of my more last times using Jump Force until maybe I get some new DLC that I actually want to play with on this game. But I have a new game that I'm going to be grinding pretty religiously, so I'll be using it in the background a lot. But other than that being said, if there is an anime that character that actually exists in this game and I'm using them to talk about the show, then yeah, I'll probably do that. But still, if there isn't, I'll be using a different game, and you guys will be seeing what that is relatively soon. But all that being said, Black Clover this week, man. I didn't know what I expected to happen. Uh, with all these expositions popping off in the grand scheme of like finding out about the resurrection spell and even finding out how much more like ridiculously powerful they became after gaining said power. We're kind of stuck in this spot now, like where does this all leave off? Where does this all go after this now that we know if the elves really want to, they pretty much already won in this grand scheme of like how much power they have. But then you see someone like the sister of the Crimson, Lions, and all of a sudden you might just have a second opinion on how strong are some of these wizard knights compared to others. Like, what is this jump in, lead of power? Because the person who we saw using the best use of Mana Zone so far is between the Wizard King and now the sister. Like their zone magic is absolutely nuts. Yeah. Not only is it nuts, they activate it so quickly and so fast that it's almost as if it's just a basic magic attack, but when they're really doing something that covers such a wide area, is actually like mind blowing that not only is she throwing out attacks that are stopping darkness, light, it's going inside a spirit. What is it called? Spirit, not spiritual. But the magic to pretty much teleport people and stuff like that. Like she's fighting it all with just fire. So she literally cannot use anything but her normal attribute that she has, or not normal, but she can't use any other outside like sources of abilities. Like these guys are literally throwing at her 24/7. So it seems like an unfair fight, but when you kind of see her demeanor and you kind of see the way she carries herself, she'll never actually allow you to know she's in a jam, right? Like we'll actually never know if she believes she can win or not until we see the battle transpire. Until we see everything happen and pop off, there's no actual way we can be like, yeah, she is definitely cocky and couldn't handle her own, or she definitely meant every word of it of killing all of them, regardless of them being her literal comrades, like for even the guy who sets all the traps, seeing all these people the way that they were, he already knew how Asta was probably going to react or at least be attacking at this given point, seeing how these people are actual, friends and comrades on the battlefield to him. It's just a lot harder for him to swing full force with the intent to kill somebody that he really just wants to save or at least help out and understand. So not only is that kind of like his thought process during the battle when it comes down to seeing these people and holding back, probably, we then have the case of, um, I just call her Flame Princess because she goes in, but to see her in this position to fight all of these people who we pretty much got the scaling of them all being much ridiculously more stronger than they already were. Like most of them are royals, and royals are, the closest things that they think, should always become captains. So to then have a royal be taken over by a fairy, or a fairy, be taken over by an elf, is a little bit overkill. That's like if Yami was taken over by an elf. But worse, because then we have no one to actually fight back at all. Like, we already lost practically every single ace up our sleeve, and we're throwing out like literally everything we have at this moment. We even had people we didn't even know about within Black Clover attacking, or Black Clover within Black Bull attacking, and not only that, there's two very powerful people who are like out of commission, or at least that we know of, they shouldn't be involved in the fight. The guy from the Golden Dawn, who we're reminded of, like the brother who tried to take out his own brother on the Black Bulls, and even his teammates. That guy would be very, very strong at this point in time. Not to mention, we also lost Vengeance, the leader of the Golden Dawn. Uh, the road, like almost every single captain caught this, like, uh, else taking over. So all the people you kind of expected to have some chance of fighting against people taking over are practically gone. And I think that's what's scary about this. Everybody is just an elf, or if they're not an elf, they're already like very powerful and didn't even need that extra boost, and they just have it for the heck of it. So I'm looking forward to seeing just what all actually comes with this, because like I was saying, there's just so much that they can do with Black Clover when it comes down to these battles and these characters now, that there's a lot of characters in Black Clover that are, named and have background and all this stuff. But to think that they might be weeding out some of them is kind of a stretch, I feel like. I don't think any of these characters are actually going to get weeded out, even though by saying, yes, the resurrection spell is the spell to make it so the elves can actually fully like take over these bodies and souls to make the body their own practically, and there is no like supposed trace left of whoever was there before. So if that is the case, everybody that has been switched is supposedly dead, pretty much is what they're telling us, in my opinion. Like, everybody has lost who they were, and they are someone else. That's the long and short of it. And because Asta's the person that he is, and because, everybody kind of has feelings towards certain people, it's going to be hard to just swing at them and try to rip their heads off. So, pretty ridiculously smart ploy on Lich to pretty much turn your friends and enemies against each other and have them destroy them. Like, I mean, he's helping, but if it came down to the elves against the humans at this point, they're taking it hands down. But there's also villains like the guys who escaped the prison this week, who have absolutely, battle trained skills. It's just they gone against someone that literally counteracted everything you could throw at them. To go against anti-magic and try to come out the victor, there's not a lot of people that are doing it. Like, the only reason why a lot of people have actually come out the victor is simply because uh either they escape, or they were just way too powerful, which even that's kind of a stretch. We saw Mars, or whatever that guy's name was, literally one of the strongest like kids we've seen in the show, and Asta and his brother needed to work together to even have a chance. But then you look at that and actually flip it back and be like, oh, but they won somehow. That's just how the show gets down. They just always win somehow. So I'm kind of interested to see if that's what the route they're gonna go with all this, because to see the Flame Princess being left behind, well, not left behind, but throwing the others be out so she can go off is interesting, but at the same time, it's kind of scary because who knows what this show can do with some of these characters at the time, including when you're teasing the return of the sleeping lion. So to think that next week's episode is going to be like all the Crimson Lions getting absolutely destroyed, and the main captain with one arm's about to show up and body everybody. He's been sleeping for quite a bit, but that's why I used that flame character just then to kind of throw up the, it's coming. It's coming. So, with all that being said, everybody, it is like 5 a.m. I've been up all day and night, yes, from yesterday, just to play a game that came out today yesterday at 9 o'clock p.m. And I played it all the way up to 3 to 4 a.m. So I'm feeling pretty tired, but since I have already watched Black Clover, I didn't want to lose the information I had by waking up the next day and trying to get this out. And not only that, having to watch another anime and get it out too at a timely manner, which I haven't even seen or, figured out when it's coming out or what's even happening. So, yeah, it's pretty fun to stay up and just get to relax and enjoy yourselves. So, I hope you guys are having an amazing week, and I will definitely talk to you very soon, actually. All right, peace.